NBC 26 live at 5. It's one of the busiest travel days of the year. What you need to know if you're traveling today. Plus, a robber accused of stabbing at a woman 9 times with a screwdriver is in jail tonight. And summer may be gone, but those local vendors taking their booths inside. We'll tell you about the latest winter farmers market. Well, happening now, millions of holiday travelers across the country are fighting long lines at the airport and congestion on the highways to get home. Here in Wisconsin, nearly 2 million people are making that trek in the air or on the road. NBC 26's Billy Wagnis joins us live now from Ashwaubenon with more on what travelers are facing tonight. Billy?
Yeah, Raquel, along with the day before Thanksgiving, according to travel experts, it's the Sunday after Thanksgiving. That's today is traditionally one of the busiest days for travel during this holiday stretch. And those who are making sure that travelers are safe, especially on the roads, are urging drivers to slow down and pay attention. At Austin Straubel Airport Sunday, it's not the hectic scene you might expect on such a busy travel day where airports across the country are plagued with long lines and delays.
This line is so much longer than it was last year.
For the near 1 million Wisconsinites making the trip home by car Sunday, it's a different story.
For the State Patrol, we're out in full force. We've been out in full force all week. We have deer hunting going on right now, so we have a lot more people out in the county. And the back roads and things like that as well.
For State Trooper John Vernon,
we're just trying to make sure people get to where they're going safe and have a good time during this holiday season.
This weekend is about watching for drunk drivers.
So there's really no reason to make that decision to get behind the wheel if you've been drinking.
And urging families to plan ahead and drivers to stop tailgating.
Increase that distance between you and the car in front of you. You know, we're seeing that a lot where there's a crash caused by not enough distance between the vehicles in front of you. So you need to make sure you have that gap.
And with the DOT warning drivers of traffic delays, even stop and start traffic at times, Vernon says put down the distractions.
Put down the cell phone, get your radio set, your GPS set before you start hitting the road, get those sort of things set.
Making sure everyone is safe on the long trip home. And this holiday traffic won't be entirely wrapped up by tonight. Some families and drivers plan on making that trek home sometime tomorrow morning, where they'll be competing with rush hour traffic with people heading to work. So once again, plan ahead and take your time and stay safe on the roads. Reporting live in Ashwaubenon, keeping you connected, Billy Wagnis, NBC 26.
And weather is going to have a big impact as we head into tonight, into tomorrow for your commute back to work and school. Also, the rain's going to stick around even for that evening commute as well. Out there right now, we have dry conditions. Temperatures are in the 30s and 40s, mostly cloudy skies, a little bit of fog in some spots, mainly just up towards the Anago area, visibility down to a half a mile there. Here's a look at precision radar, starting to see some showers moving towards the Dells. And here's that swath of rain that's going to work on in as we go through the evening hours and continue through tonight. Some of that rain could be heavy overnight, and we're going to have more rain on the way for tomorrow. Details on that coming up in the full forecast. Raquel?
Well, a 17-year-old Milwaukee man is behind bars for allegedly conducting 2 robberies. It happened outside the convenience store over the weekend. The teen allegedly tried to get money from a 21-year-old woman, but when she locked herself in her car, he allegedly attacked a 56-year-old woman with a screwdriver, stabbing at her 9 times. According to police, the teen said he was trying to get money to go back to Milwaukee. He's currently being held in the Outagamie County Jail. Well, 1 person is dead and 9 others injured after a shooting in New Orleans. The shooting happened on Bourbon Street early this morning. 2 men were arrested in relation to the incident. Police say they still don't know what led to that deadly shooting. New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu called the shooting senseless and tragic.
Totally unacceptable. The violence just continues to spin out of control with people brandishing weapons whenever they think they can, and it's really unfortunate.
Roughly 30 officers were in the area at the time of that shooting as part of a security detail for the weekend's Bayou Classic. Well, memorials for former Cuban President Fidel Castro continue to grow tonight. People are placing flowers at embassy memorials for Castro. Roads are also being closed in Cuba for planned memorial events. This morning, Afro-Cubans flocked to this church in Havana to pay respects and pray for the former leader. Fidel Castro died Friday. He was 90 years old. Now that Fidel Castro is dead, what will President-elect Donald Trump do about Cuban policy? This morning on NBC's Meet the Press, Trump's former campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway, discusses what could happen now, saying President-elect Trump plans to keep America first when it comes to reopening diplomatic relations with Cuba.
He wants to make sure we get things in return. It's not always this unilateral capitulation to these foreign governments. Secondly, he's been very clear that the major priority now is to make sure Cubans on Cuba have the same freedoms that Cubans here in America have.
Conway goes on to say that Trump has no definite plans in place regarding Cuba for when he's in office, saying we have 8 more weeks under President Obama, and Trump is being, quote, respectful of that. Well, speaking of Donald Trump, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark is scheduled to meet with the president-elect in New York tomorrow. A Trump spokesperson says Clark is being considered for a number of positions, including Secretary of Homeland Security. When asked about that meeting, the sheriff declined to comment. Well, covering America on NBC 26, a 9-year-old autistic boy who went missing on Thanksgiving has been found dead. Police say Marcus McGee's body was found in a pond in Texas. McGee is the nephew of former NBA player Marcus Camby. Police say the boy's family is thankful for the community's help to try and find him, despite this tragic outcome.
Overnight, we met with the family. The family's been very appreciative of all our efforts. They just can't say enough good things about this community. And how everybody came together to help find their son. And we just didn't want to find him this way.
Police say McGee was reported missing Thursday afternoon during the family's Thanksgiving celebration on Camby's property. Well, 7 people injured, 1 critically after a shootout spanning 8 blocks in Kansas City, Missouri. When police arrived, they found people shooting at each other, including from their vehicles. Officers called for a citywide assist from surrounding police departments. No word yet on what started that shootout. Well, a California mother who was kidnapped 3 weeks ago and released just 3 days ago has police scratching their heads. Investigators still don't know what happened, and they don't even have a description of what the woman's kidnappers look like. NBC's Gotti Schwartz has that story.
Along this remote stretch of California's Interstate 5, a shocking sight.
He is heavily battered, and it is confirmed kidnapping.
Sherry Papini, a 34-year-old wife and mother of 2, rescued by someone driving by after going missing for more than 3 weeks. Saturday, investigators reviewing surveillance video from this church, the closest building to where Papini was found. Church members say there wasn't much to see.
Did they find anything?
No, they didn't find anything.
Investigators remain tight-lipped over the details of the case, but experts say it's very bizarre.
There's a lot of highly unusual circumstances in the story.
So far, the sheriff's department has only described the kidnappers as 2 Hispanic women armed with a gun driving a dark SUV, but have offered no motive on why she may have been kidnapped. Papini disappeared while jogging near her home more than 150 miles away. She's now expected to begin the long process of helping detectives solve this case.
There's hours, weeks of investigation that lay out there, and the victim, of course, is the best witness. She's the one that can help break this case wide open.
Well, the big shopping weekend may be winding down, but the deals aren't over yet. Cyber Monday begins at midnight for some stores, but that means cyber crime goes up too. Some things you should look for while bargain hunting online is the BBB seal, showing the website is trustworthy. Also, use your credit card for purchases under federal law. Shoppers are protected to dispute any unauthorized charges on their cards, and hang on to your receipts for proof of purchase if problems come up later. Well, still ahead on NBC 26, local vendors are moving indoors but still seeing crowds. A winter farmers market will take you there. But first, what is the weather looking like heading into your work week? Your forecast is next.